Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast, where we raise the bar and lower the tone on all things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 8th of August. Game week 1 is done. Put in the back of a van, driven out to a desolate area and shot in the back of the head. Finished. Executed. Well by some and not so well by others, and isn't that always the way? No major shocks. Start of a brand new FPL season, and yeah. Here to help me digest Game Week 1 and look ahead to Game Week 2, my podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How you getting on, my friend?
It's good to be back, Ger. It's good to be back. And hello to all the listeners listening, and to the millions and millions at home watching on YouTube. That is to you. Ger, it's great. I'm excited to be back. The last time I seen you, we were half naked walking into the sea, when you were telling me that you hated me, but I knew that it was more affection. But
yeah, actually,
here we are back together again.
Yeah, I was about to deny it, and then it came back to me. I was like, no, actually, I was saying that. Yeah.
Your exact words were, "I hate you right now, Paddy. Why did I leave my holidays to come up here and walk into the Atlantic Ocean?"
No, I wouldn't take it back for the world. It was a crazy weekend, and Seamus brought it up last weekend, or last episode, and the two of us were missing. It was a nice change of pace for us to be able to sit back and listen to Seamus and our special guest for the night, FPL Fairy, absolutely tear the house down last week.
Fantastic episode.
Yeah, no, I really liked it, and as I said, I thought I don't know, couldn't tell if it was like just me being happy to be on the other side, or was it absolutely fucking gold? But it was exactly what I needed to hear, and it made my mind up on a lot of decisions before game week 2, or before game week 1, before the whole fucking thing started.
Yes.
And so I guess the main talking point that seems to be all over the place right now, after the fallout of game week 1, is the Haaland Kane situation. I mean, like,
oh yes,
we're recording this on a Monday. The two of them have already changed prices. Haaland's gone up by 0.1 and Kane has gone down by 0.1. You had your own little nightmare
meltdown
on Sunday. Yeah, how did that go?
Yeah, I had a public meltdown. I actually tried to call you and Seamus first in the WhatsApp, like my sponsors, but you let me down.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Twitter. I went on the Instagram account that we now have, and I ranted. I just let it all out. Then, thank God, I had Lucy Highnet and Andy FPL Mode and Flappy. They talked me down. They told me what I needed to hear.
But what were you going to do? What were you freaking out about? What did it talk you down from?
Well, where I was like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't looking at those price predictor modules. I was just panicking. Okay. And I was thinking to myself, fuck, did I hold this? Did I hold Kane? Just I didn't want to just make the fucking decision while he was still playing the match. Do you know what I mean?
You didn't want to.
I didn't want to make my first transfer of the new season while Haaland was actually on the field of play.
Okay, before the game week had even finished.
Yeah, before the match had even finished.
Yeah.
I was like, no, because he could get injured. I want to play like a real manager this season, Ger, and make decisions on the Friday evening, or
if I know you,
30 seconds before the deadline.
If I know you put your phone away and you sat down patiently until maybe 9 p.m, 10 p.m, till the emotions had subsided, and then you made a cool, rational decision. If I know you at all.
Well, not this time actually. As soon as the second goal went in for Haaland, I just transferred him into my team. I just had to do it.
So what the fuck did they talk you down from then? Nothing.
They didn't actually. They fucking didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I think actually.
Well done, lads. You fucked him.
Well,
you fucked him.
Andy said just drink a few pints and then do it later. Do it at 12 o'clock tonight. But
that's a terrible idea.
They didn't fuck me. Yeah, I know. But anyway, I'm glad I did it.
No,
who's laughing now?
Yeah, well, I think you made the right decision. I think.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
I don't think you needed to make it before Haaland had even been subbed off and thus not injured in front of you.
Exactly.
But I think you did. I think that was a big talking point. Like, oh, I mean, people shouldn't be afraid to make any transfer. And I mean,
No,
for a
you
lot
do
of
what you
people,
want.
exactly. And for a lot of people, the plan was just to go Kane to Haaland. Kane was 1 weaker. Were you one of them, Paddy, or are you just jumping on the bandwagon
I
now?
was just getting to that exactly after when I was laying in bed. Those final moments before you fall asleep and you decide whether you're going to watch a shit Netflix show. Do you nod off? I was sitting there and I was thinking about FPL and I thought, oh, that was always my plan anyway. Too. I was always going Haaland
Yeah.
over Kane for game week 2. So
So that made no
yeah,
difference. Yeah. I mean, like,
I don't know. I just caught up in the panic of it all. I think it was more the pain. There was a bit of pain that was one of my 50-50s.
mm,
I was going to go Haaland over Kane, and then I would have went Son or KDB.
yeah, I get you.
But I don't. But anyway, none of that happened in the end. But yeah, one of the main decisions was Kane or Haaland, and I thought I'll go Kane, and then I'll go Haaland game week 2. And I shouldn't have done it. I seen a good meme flying about. It was by our good old buddy FPL Hints. Ash had it up. It was the picture of Maldini and that famous quote: "If you have to tackle the ball, you've already made a mistake." And it was he switched it to, "If you have to make a transfer in game week 2, you've already made a mistake." And I was like, "Yeah, rub it in, you bollocks."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, it was good. It was good. But here I am now. I'm happy. I'm not going to go into my plans just yet. We'll talk about it later on, I think, Jer. But what's your feelings on the whole? I did right, so you said so. That's good. But
You did right. Yeah.
thanks, Jer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I think, yeah, I was watching the game with a buddy, and he was in a similar situation as you. It's actually why I couldn't take the call. I was chatting away about the exact same thing, and I was saying, just.
So you seen the call?
Well, I saw it coming in, yeah. Of course I did. I didn't
And
just.
you didn't answer it.
I was in the middle of watching a match talking to a
What
mate.
kind of a
And I went,
fucking
Paddy's now
what?
fucking off on one. And I'm not. I wouldn't. Same thing if I was chatting to you and a call came in. I'd be like, no, I'm having a fucking conversation. And then
Well,
before I knew it, you'd call us out on social media for abandoning you. And I was just like,
well, you did
for
abandon
all
me,
I know,
and now the people know that you did abandon me. If someone was ringing me, I would have fucking answered the phone. All right, now,
yeah,
you slipped
because
up there. You
you'd
didn't think
answer the
you didn't
phone.
think that you didn't think this would upset me. You didn't think this would upset me, but it has. So, so no, go on ahead now. Go on ahead now with what you were going to say. I've got now. I know what I need to know
You
about
need
you as a
to stop
person.
making random phone calls at random times, and then
Ah,
people will take your calls seriously. For all I knew, you were doing fucking 100 kilometers an hour down some backwards arse Donegal Road, chatting into your phone about what you're going to do next game week 2, because that's exactly what you was in the end.
No, I look. Come here. I was just looking for a friend.
You were not looking for a friend.
So,
You
no,
fucking...
continue. Anyway, continue. You just go back to that story about your real friends. There. Go back to that story about your real friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
The listeners are laughing to this, but I'm getting serious. I'm getting a serious fucking giving out to now when we go off air about this shit. I can tell. But yeah, no. So I'm chatting to my real friend, as you said, and all of a sudden I'm just no. I was going back into the thing with the call, but I'm just saying the same thing. I'm like, look, he's going to go up in price tonight. Kane's going to go down probably as the make weight. I would make that decision this evening, and I wouldn't really worry about it. If that was the plan. And I asked him, was his plan? He went, and I went, okay, it probably wasn't his plan, but it didn't make a difference. I was like, that's the right thing to do, and that's what you did.
Yeah, and in the end, I think that's a lot of people were in this situation, and the people that didn't or couldn't, like there's a few people that have they don't have the funds to do it, and they woke up in the morning and all of a sudden there's a 0.2 difference. So
yeah, it's
not
gonna
on my watch.
It's gonna. But I mean, like, look. At the end of the day, do you think it? Not my watch. Do you think it'll make Is it that terrible to have Harry Kane? I mean, like Spurs won. What was it? 4-1 this week, and he didn't get any return. But I mean, is that? Do you think that's a mark against Kane, or would you be too worried holding on to him? Like, say you were priced out of it. Is my point. Would you be like?
Yeah, I'd be -4 and wildcard and doing everything. Free hits and bench boosting. I guess what makes it worse is the fixture.
Yeah.
Like if Kane didn't have Chelsea,
yeah.
And who's to say he's not going to score a penalty or score a fucking a couple of goals? We don't know. But it's the fact that they're playing Chelsea and City are playing Bournemouth is that's the real issue, and that's the real cause for panic and pandemonium. Pandemonium?
Pandemonium, yeah.
Yeah, pandemonium within the whole Haaland Kane thing this week.
Yeah, no, you're right. But you made that call, and I just think, it's just always going to be something, isn't it? Every week, I think, especially as big as the FPL community gets, and Twitter is like, there's always going to be some fucking mad hot topic, and no, I thought it was a pretty peaceful week though in general. Nothing mad. Like, how did you actually get on? I don't think we talked about your team.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know right now. So I got a 62 points. I think that gives me an overall rank of 3 million.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast earlier. Someone said it was like 3 points is the difference of 600,000 places or something like that. So it's only game week 1. It's ridiculous. So
it's like a tin of sardines. It's like a tin of sardines right
now. So basically, I had Ramsdale and nets, 6 points.
Boom.
I was happy with that. I had James for Chelsea, 7 points. I had Cancelo, 7 points. Then my other 2 defenders let me down. Trent Alexander and Dalot for United.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, 4.5. I'm not going to be too crazy there. Midfield, Martinelli got me the 8 points. That was a moment of sheer bliss whenever I got that notification in the cinema. And
because you sent us a video of you driving down a country road with your family, screaming random things at the phone. So
my wife was driving, and she booked the cinema for the fucking night the Premier League came back. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I says, I'm not going to the cinema. The Premier League's just starting. I have a few beers in them. And she's like, no, you're going to the cinema? So I was like, what? Are you having a joke? Is there a video camera? Are you trying to get me a reaction or something here so you can divorce me or something? But no, it was there was real. The tickets were bought, and I was going to see Elvis.
There you go.
And I was sitting there and she's the devil in disguise. So yeah, she. Anyway, but I was sitting there, got the notification. By the way, great movie. Great.
Are you one of those pricks that looks at their phone in the cinema?
When I had 3 Arsenal players. Do I have 3? Yeah, 3 Arsenal players playing. I am one of those pricks, yes.
Fair enough.
But I mean, I had it on dark mode.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I did the same.
Popped it out, had to have a look. My phone, that is. So anyway, Luis Diaz, 2 points, but I watched a lot of football, a lot of highlights. After listening to Ferry and Seamus, is like I gotta brush up on my game.
Did you actually watch football? Because I
watched a lot of football, and I'm the new stats guy.
What was your favorite part of the weekend?
Probably the Well, I mean, there's so many. Jerry, you kind of caught me on hot there, but let me get back to what I was.
Sorry. Sorry, go on. I was going to say my favorite piece of the weekend, and then I was going to give you some time to think about it.
No, all right. So you don't really have a favorite piece?
I do, yeah. It was Reece James yellow card.
Oh yeah.
And then it made no difference because his prick got a fucking 2 bonus points anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That was horrific. But yeah, anyway, Diaz 2 points, but loved what I seen. Jesus Christ, like he was unlucky not to get a goal, posts and fucking shots galore. So anyway, I'm not too worried about that. Although I will totally contradict myself later on in the pod.
Okay, fair enough. When we get to your plans. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Salah captain, 24 points, great. Rashford, there's my first fire that I won't be able to deal with until probably game week 3 or 4. We'll talk about that later.
He's got a nice fixture. Well, I don't know if you consider it a nice fixture, but
I know United are a bit pants, aren't they?
Yeah.
So up top, double blank, Kane and Jesus, and that was me, 62 points. Just before I passed over to you, Jer, I was really happy with what I saw with my bench spotter as well. I thought Andres Pereira's at a 4.5 million starter for Fulham was running the show.
Yeah.
Really happy with that. I thought Neco Williams, as I know Forrest, or they've got new signings and all, and they have to gel and stuff. But again, he was. I was watching him and I thought he was okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy with my keeper. I've got a Ward in there, 4.5. I know he didn't keep a clean sheet, but
4
4 million. Oh my god! So I've got a good start keeper. So there you go, Jared. Over to you. Take it away.
No. I mean, that's, I think 62 points. Average this week was 57. You take that any game week 1. You know, you just want to kind of stay with the herd. And I don't think you've a rake of fires to put out at all. I mean, Rashford, as you said, yeah, the lot. I mean, obviously you took a chance. You're a United fan. You're allowed to fucking take a
That was my point. It's nice to have
How
a
are
wee
you going to
punt,
enjoy the game Premiership if you don't have some... I mean, this is coming from a guy who didn't do it. But I mean, I'm not going to judge someone for doing it, you know?
Exactly. I wanted to have a wee bit of United in there, and look, I'm wearing the top today and everything because we got beat, and you know, how dare me support them just when they're winning? Like, so that's the time to wear the colours, and you know what? It's going to be a long season. There's a lot of shit in that team.
Yeah.
This could be this is for another pod.
It is. It's a whole different episode. We won't go into.
But you know.
No, I get you. I get you.
Tell us. I've got a semi here.
Oh, stop. Oh.
Lube me up.
79 points this week. Yeah.
Wow, 79 points.
79 points. Fucking, you know, I mean, it's you'll take that 300 odd K rank, although I would say, as a general rule, overall rank doesn't mean shit right now, you know. As you said, it's... What? I say it out of habit, because I'm actually... The Premier League, the Fancy Premier League website has changed this year, so... They've made it a lot easier to read for someone like myself who's using like a mobile kind of version of it. It's like, oh, now this was always on the right hand side and I could never see it anyway, but now it's right there, so that'll make it handy.
What was your ranking?
Oh, you know, whatever, Paddy. You know, sub 1 mil. You know.
Okay, cool.
But I had Warden goals. I do have Sanchez on the bench, but I kind of that whole Man United bias. I kind of was like, nah. I mean, it makes sense to play. A home to Brentford should sound better than, you know, fucking way to Man United. So I was like, all right, I'll just stick with that. Played Ward. Then back line of Trippier, Cancelo, Robertson, Alexander, Arnold. And then middle is Neto, Martinelli, Salah. And then my big boy pants this week was Kulusevski and Jesus and Hollandaise to round off the starting 11. And
Lovely.
70. I got like it's basically Kulusevski is.
Well, wait there, man. Do you double Liverpool defense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's going to come good. So, where did your big points come from? The midfield, was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my midfield came good, like Martinelli, Salah, Cap, obviously, and Kulusevski. So, I mean,
lovely.
That was the big 13-pointer from him. He was a hero.
And who was your two forwards?
Haaland and then.
You'd Haaland as well.
Yeah. So Haaland and Jesus.
Haaland.
So, so I mean, that's another talking point, at least because it was the opening fixture and, you know, it's all anyone could fucking do in this 24-hour FPL news cycle we live in, apparently, was talk about Jesus blanking on Friday night. And, what did you make of that? Did you have Jesus? I'm going to keep flicking.
Yeah, I did, and he was lively looking, and I'm in no rush to remove Jesus. I liked what I saw. And I'm very happy that I have Martinelli. Thought from where he's playing up, you know, he's down his midfield, right up there. He's going to be involved and more. So yeah, I'm happy with those two players. I thought, and I'm not going to be. Yeah, Jesus is going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, like their fixtures: Leicester at home, Bournemouth away, Fulham at home, Villa at home. Like, yeah, that's you got him for for those kind of.
No, that's what he's in there for, and regardless, he's still 70% owned, or did a few people, very minimal few might have reached transfer point.
Yeah,
as they do for Mitrovic.
I definitely seen a few. I mean, I hadn't seen a lot of it, to be fair. I mean, I think most people. I mean, I don't know, like how much were you really expecting? I was happier with seeing him do play well. And you know, that was kind of all I needed. Was like, okay, this didn't feel like a mistake to me. Do you know? I mean, if you think about the Arsenal assets that night, you had Martinelli return, Saka return. I mean, if you had tripled up on the three of them, we'll say you got 2 out of 3 returns. And I mean, Jesus, you know, he didn't look shit. That was the main thing. I was like, yeah,
exactly. And just us talking about Jesus there, and I made a wee joke there about him being transferred out. He's actually the second most transferred out player so far in the game week with, holy shit, 214,000 managers have transferred him out. No surprise with Kane being first, Perisic third, Cash fourth, and Son fifth. Do you want to know who the most transferred in players are this week, just because we're on it?
Well, I would guess Haaland has got to be up there.
Yeah, number 1. Yeah. Give us number 2.
Number 2, Kulusevski. No, he's got a fucking tough fixture.
No,
No, you just call him out. I'm
It's
sure.
actually, do you know what? It's the guys who just scored points. It's Haaland, Zinchenko, Mitrovic, Kulusevski, and Martinelli. So there you go.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's always the stage, Game week
Yeah,
one. There's kind of
it's
a fluster.
knee jerks.
You've a lot more people that are kind of like excited and still just to want to make a fucking move. You know?
Blow. No, there's actually been a lot of people in the community that have activated wildcards as well.
Yeah, I guess like
You know,
I mean, there is. I've seen a few. I've seen a bench boost. Seen a very successful bench boost. Like there is, there's multiple ways to attack it. Like I don't think if you aimed at like we'll say a game week one kind of free hit squad, basically when I'm going to go into this and attack just game week one and wildcard straight out of it, I'm like fine with that. Fuck it, go fucking mad. Whatever your
go nuts.
your heart. Yeah, exactly. But I mean. I'm just going back to my team. I guess there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, I think the big question for me, I'll save this because you're saving your plans, so I'll save my plans to the end. How about we get into Jesus Christ, my fucking ears.
Sorry, a fucking fly. We fly. Just fucking dared. Oh shit, it's on me.
Yeah. But let's get into the. What are you doing?
The fucking fly.
Paddy.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, you've got the head for it anyway.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know. I don't know. It felt good at the time. But no. Let's get into the mini league.
We'll go to the mini league. Yeah. Let's see what's happening. Are we sharing this, or do you want me to just do it all?
Should I show people what the prize is? Well, what I got last year's winner. And
what the new winner's going to be.
This is what I'm going to do for next year as well. It's going to be our thing.
Do you know the way that you've mentioned it now? Yeah. Wait till after the mini league updates.
So they have
so the way that they're like, oh, what's this? Find out right after these updates.
All right, that's a good show.
Right, so it's good. So here we go. Do you want to do the top 10? Do you have it there? Do you want to do the top 10, or do you want me to do the top 10?
You do the top 10, Paddy. You take it away.
Right, okay, I'll do it. So here we are, the Hangover Mini League top 10. Coming in at number 1, we have Mr. Cian McGinley, 96 points. Holy fuck. 96 points. We have Mike Halpin, friend of the pod, 84 points. Unbelievable, Mike. Not bad for a casual. We have Peter Scullion, 82 points. We have, now I pronounce this name all day because I think I'm going to nail it. So we have Bithan Moksharihi with 82 points. Apologies there, by the way. We have also Ken Corbally, 81 points. Bernard O'Shea, 81 points. David Grant, 80. Kush Mukajeri, 80 points. Oren Russell, 80. And Trevor Gordon, the man from Finn Harps himself, Donegal, 80 points. And then we've got about 20 other managers and 80 points that we're not going to just fucking bore you with.
No,
what we will do... Well...
No, I was saying like that's it's a pretty fucking... It's a nice...
it's a solid league.
It's a solid league, yeah. Go for it.
Yeah,
what have you got for me?
Solid league. Oh, yeah, by the way, may as well, Steve Horn, FPL Ferry, he's right there. He's at like 11th or 12th. Nailing it. One thing that did interest me, Ger, was the captaincy for the league.
Okay.
We had 132 managers on Salah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we had a couple, and I'm going to ask you, this is going to be an interactive experience for you here, Ger. I'm going to ask you just, who would you like to know? Yeah, well, you're fucking doing it, right? Yeah. So, look, we had one manager on Luis Diaz as a captain, right?
Okay.
We're going to call it, it'll be balls of steel. We had one manager on Jesus. Okay. We had 4 on Son, 2 on Fernandes, 4 on Haaland, 2 on Darwin, and 15 on Kane. Would you like to know what struck you there that you'd like to know which mad bastard captained?
I'd like to know who captained Fernandes so I can boot him out of the league.
Right, we're going to find that out right now. And I can't wait to boot them. Can I do it?
No.
So anyway, we've got two managers that have captained Fernandes, and that was Mark Scallon and David Ayomide. So there you have it for the captaincy. A couple other little stats here that piqued my interest. And I'll let you... We're a couple of chips. We had 4 bench boosts. Cian McGinley, who is top of the league, boosted his way to the top. We have David Grant also on the bench boost. We had Nick Scott on the bench boost. We had Claire McCall bench boost, and we had one triple captain. So Steve Lavin, and guess who he triple captain?
Salah. Haaland.
Yeah, of course.
Salah.
Now, last but not least, because we don't have we've only got so much to work on, but we will do want to see some bench points. And some poor bastard had 20 points on their bench, and that is Kevin Reardon. He's come up on my spotlight before, Kevin Reardon, anyway.
Yeah, we call it.
But 20 points. That's great. Yeah, that's it. Fuck's sake. So Kevin has 20 points on the bench. That's a sin. Had to be Zinchenko in there in the mix.
Did you look?
And maybe. No, I didn't look, but I only got me. Peter Kinsella had.
You could have had fucking Brook from Bournemouth or something sitting there with 12 points.
Well, we're in the league, and we'll just maybe we'll have a look the next time we're in the. He is in. Well, he's 162 in the league, so. Peter Kinsella at 19 points, Captain Sherlock at 18 points, Liam Evans 15, and we'll leave it at that. So that would be it for the league updates for this week, Chair.
Excellent. Thank you, Paddy. And what did you say you were using? No
problem.
Because we should probably give credit.
I'm using Fantasy Premier Tools this year for the mini league.
I'll stick a link in the description below for anyone that's on YouTube. Speaking of anyone on YouTube, if you like what you're hearing, maybe subscribe or tell a friend or whatever suits you. And if you don't, but you still want to join the mini league, the code is on the screen there. It's PK3DFT. That's PK3DFT. Well, Paddy, if you could stop with your goddamn background noise, what I have to say, the mini league. There's poor audio listeners right now having to rewind because I refuse to edit this shit out.
Do you want to do it again then, Jer?
I'm just taking this.
Go, do it again.
The mini league code is PK3DFT. I knew it. I knew you were going to do it. I got it in before, and fuck you.
The mini league is sponsored by Kinniger. This is a Yana Ruddy.
I would fucking love if they sponsored. You are friends with all those guys. You could fucking sort that out.
I'll swing it.
Yeah,
I'll swing it. Leave it with me. We need some sponsorship on this fucking pod.
We're doing fucking a show once a week. I mean, I'm sure there's a certain amount of functional alcoholics listening to this shit.
Yeah, and I haven't mentioned wanking once.
You have, I think. I'm pretty sure there's been at least one joke about maybe when you talk about
that was the only thing that lacked from last week's podcast. Not enough wanking.
For sure. I mean, how are they going to live up to the reputation that you set for it, Betty? Best to avoid that shit altogether. But that was the mini league. Yeah, so basically that's the prize I mentioned earlier on, and this is I'm going to show because I got this back today and I'm kind of excited. I was debating sending this to the winner first before displaying it on the air, but then I was like, why the fuck do I give a shit about that? The winner of last year's, and this prize is going to be up for this year's one as well, is going to receive an FPL Hangover mini league champion hip flask. So
wow,
there it is there.
Like
fucking that's coming.
Yeah, what more do you want from the Hangover podcast? Like
there you go. Just for the
that's the bill.
For the secret alcoholic in you, just slip it in.
Bring it right up there. There's a bit of a shine on it there. Bring it right up there. So
yeah, but you're looking at a shitty camera.
Fuck, man, it's a fucking great camera.
There it is. There's another. It's hard to not have a shine. Yeah, it's described everything. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say it cost a lot of money, but it cost a lot of money. Yeah,
a lot of money.
It didn't. But yeah, so Quinner, the winner of last year's, that's on the way to you. Also, that care package that we couldn't send to our Christmas winner, Nuclear Adams, he will be happy to know that the restrictions have been lifted and On Post are now delivering again to Bangladesh. So I'll get that package off as well when I'm sending this.
Mr. International in the house.
Yeah.
The FPL Hangover podcast here, huh?
I think
Bangladesh, like.
Yeah,
wow.
All over the world. That's the beauty of it. Wow. Yeah. I don't know who else would be man of this.
To the millions watching in Bangladesh.
Yeah, here's to you.
Cheers.
I'm not so lucky with what I'm drinking tonight. I've got.
What are you drinking?
I've got leftover beers from the in-laws. So the mother-in-law was like, oh, fucking, what'll I buy? Oh, I don't know what to buy. And I said, oh, what's the most basic bitch beer? Now, this woman should know her beer. She's German. Do you know what I mean? So, but like, I was like, what's the easiest, safest beer? And she picked Rockshore, because I gave her like between Rockshore and Carlsberg or something. And she loved it. I know. And I don't know, it just tastes like every other goddamn cheap lager.
Yeah, everything was going so well in this podcast until we started talking about what you were drinking.
Yeah,
but you know what? This is a great segue into what you done to Seamus that was not told on the pod. Do you remember what you done to our podcasting partner in crime at the Irish meetup? Go on, tell us the story, because I love it and I want to hear it again.
Oh.
And the people want to know.
This is not something I planned on telling anyone. Okay, I didn't do this to anybody for a start. Let's just clear.
Tell
this
the story
was an accidental happening. I'm not telling. Should I tell the story? Seamus could kill me. But look, Seamus, if you're there, then I have no choice. He's set me up, and I'm not editing all this out. So, essentially, yeah, I'll take the blame for this.
Second pub. We're in the second pub after lots of
drinks. It's after Community Shield, and basically we're all having a couple of rum and cokes, and there's a table
in McGinley's bar.
Hashtag McGinley's. They've paid for this story. I hope the fuck they have. Yeah, so basically we have a bunch of rum and cokes, and some plonker knocks one over. I don't even know who the fuck it was. It was probably Paddy, and he knocks a rum and coke all over the table. Seamus is off in the bathroom, and I clean it up with a cloth given to us from the barmaid. So I clean it up like a good fucking patron. No animal here, no problem.
Amazing. And just to set the visual, it's one of those, thick, spongy ones, that it feels horrible on your fingers. That texture.
I felt nasty holding
soaks everything up. Yeah. You could actually tie it around a child, and it would be a really good nappy. But it's that absorbent.
I'll take your word for that. But
go for it now. You're back on.
I'm back on. So I mop up the rum and coke, and I squeeze the sponge into the glass, and I do this until all the rum is gone. You're nearly gawking already. Squeeze all of the rum into the glass, and it's there, and you're left with this light coloured brown, So Seamus comes back out from the bathroom, and maybe he knocked a coke, and yeah, he's gone back in to clean himself, and he comes back from the bathroom, Mr. fucking break a glass every 20 minutes, and
yeah, he
does, yeah, and he's like, oh, fucking, rum and coke. So I slide the glass, thinking he knows what's happened, because I've cleaned it all up, and surely he's wondering who's cleaned my mess for me. So I slide the glass over to him, and then he picks it up. And I think he's just been, sarcastic, and he's about to pretend, and he brings it closer to his lips and starts swigging out of the glass. And there's a couple that we had just met that evening at the meetup watching, and I think FPL Sergeant and his significant other.
Lovely lady.
Yeah, she's watching. They're watching on, and I can see their eyes dropping. Sergeant doesn't even remember this shit, but I can see their eyes dropping, and I try to stop Seamus from drinking anymore because he's going for it. I think I made a joke about, neck this or something like that,
Yeah.
And
yeah, you did.
Yeah, so then I break it to him that like what he's done, and then he just sits there like with this fucking look on his face. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna get sick or if he's gonna punch me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, and I think there was just this somber feeling around the table for a couple of seconds after that.
Oh, it's my worst nightmare. Imagine
you the next day were nearly as bad.
Like how many other people had wiped a table with that cloth?
He's probably some fucking superhuman now, as if he wasn't close enough already.
Like, fucking hell.
I told you the next morning, and you were like, I thought you were gonna get sick.
Yeah, I nearly got sick. I nearly got sick again. But just while we're on it, just another thing. Just during the Rockshore, it's not the most embarrassing thing to drink by all means. We had a couple of youngins up there, FPL era, and I was watching these boys drinking this fucking like luminous blue ship, and it had to be WKD blue, and I was like, what's this? What's going on here? Like,
Have I stepped back into my 20s?
Yeah, I like
things.
my Guinness and all,
Yeah.
and needless to say, about 4 hours or 3 hours after that observation, I was drinking this blue shit myself, which turned out to be called giggly water.
Okay. Is this a real thing, or
You,
was that a joke that people were
I
calling
don't
it?
know if Era made the name up or if it's a thing, but do you know back in our heyday we used to drink the fat
Yeah,
frogs?
yeah.
Did that make it down to Limerick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did, yeah.
Well, was it
All the way
a
down to
Smirnoff?
fucking little old
a,
Limerick.
S- a Smirnoff, a WKD blue, and a hooch, an orange hooch or
I think it
something,
was just,
or
yeah,
a Bacardi Breezer.
yeah, yeah.
Bacardi Breezer orange. So yeah, that was a tough time to
But
be
what is it
out.
then? What is the fucking giggly water?
So anyway, the giggly water is a WKD. It's a vodka
Yeah.
and a WKD blue, and
And they call it giggly water
that
because it gets you fucked, I assume.
yeah, it blows the
Of
head clean off
course
you.
it blood it off
So,
you. Yeah.
so that's what we were drinking, and the general had a couple as well. We had him there and his lovely wife Michaela, and yeah, there was a Jägerbomb incident.
Was this in between all the autographs that
Yeah,
the
this
general was
was
signing?
yeah. Yeah. Uh, it was good night. It was good night. But we're way off track here now.
No, it was a really good night.
It's
But
fun.
yeah, let's bring it back to reality.
FPL.
We haven't really chatted since that night, so I guess that's why we're
No.
fucking getting it all out now. But yeah, FPL game week 2 on the horizon. You've made your decision in terms of your transfer this week, made, done.
Yes.
What are you thinking about? You said you had some plans that you wanted to discuss with me,
I did.
and I said, wait till the fucking end of the show, please,
Yeah.
till we got all the good
So
stuff, the important stuff out, like giggly water.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got this is where I'm at, right? Because I've got rid of Kane.
Yeah.
And that's okay because he's playing Chelsea in my head. But that also means now that I don't have any Spurs coverage. Okay?
Okay.
And that bothers me. That bothers me. So I would like to have some Spurs coverage. So I'm thinking,
Sounds like you just ordered
and
out a
this is
menu.
what. So I'm thinking this. This isn't going to happen immediately, but I think my path. Fuck you, Jer.
It's not
If
your
that is
fault.
your
I'm just
name.
thinking of like, there's you go. Maybe FPL era that can be his ad for next year is just someone going up to a fast food restaurant and just ordering. I'll have some Spurs coverage and I'll have a little
Well, sprinkle
bit
of
of Perisic there on the side, or maybe something not Spurs related.
yeah. We better have cameo appearances in his next video.
Two drunks, getting asked to
Yeah,
leave a
we'll
park.
definitely yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll make it happen. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying before, I was interrupted. I have no Spurs coverage now, and I don't like looking at my team without that Spurs coverage. Like, so I was thinking I would like out of what I can afford having like a Salah and a Haaland. I think I really want to have Haaland for. I'm not going to be doing the hokey cokey with Haaland and Kane. I think
You
from
say
what I
that.
saw as well. Yeah, but I say that, but what I've seen as well, Kane, he's still playing that like he's a number 10 ish
Yeah,
role.
I don't know.
It's only game week 1. I know. Don't be fucking getting at me yet, but that's what I have in my head as well. He's going to be this number 10 cunt off. Oh my god, I said the C bomb. He's going to be that number 10 all throughout the whole season, which he probably won't be. I know he's going to bang goals, but
Yeah.
I think Holland's going to be more explosive this season, right? At 11.5. So I like Kulu. My only option to get to Kulu at the moment is probably Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel having Salah and having Trent is good coverage at the moment, like, and I would have that bit of Spurs in there. So that could be my next transfer after game week 2 if everything goes okay. And that gives me more time to look at Rashford and what he's about, But at the end of the day, let's not beat around the bush. Rashford isn't going to light the place up. But the fixtures are good for him at the minute, and I have been looking at a few downgrades. Not downgrades, I mean like upgrades
Such as it.
at around that price point. And I love Aronson from Leeds at 5.5. Give me a few extra pound too, maybe to upgrade Dalot when I'll need to do that. The 5 players that caught in mind were Aronson.
So
Wait there.
so Aronson for Leeds. That's their fixtures.
I actually tweeted this.
Have Southampton away, Chelsea at home, Brighton away, Everton at home, and Brentford away. So not a bad run of fixtures. I mean, obviously you take that Chelsea match out of it, but pretty decent run of fixtures for Leeds.
Yeah,
Aronson caught
yeah, I like that. Yeah, he caught me. Pascal Gross for Brighton.
Paddy.
What?
Like, he literally just scores against Man United. That's like his
Listen,
thing now.
I know. But look, come here. Do you remember that season where he was hot? It was like before COVID. He was hot. If he can get that again for 5.5,
No.
and I get to upgrade my defender. Yeah, well, these are the people that caught my eye. No stats. This was
Sorry.
my eye test
Okay,
who I
fair
liked,
enough.
right?
I'm not judging, but I am.
I have two from Newcastle here. This isn't going to be like I'm not pulling up trees here. Gunamares, I thought he was fucking lethal. Like for 6 million as well. Joe Linton, couldn't in a Barlafanis, but he was fucking everywhere, and he's down like midfielder as well.
Okay.
He was everywhere. And I mean, like he could have scored. And then my last one was Tielemans for Leicester, played well, very well.
Did he? I didn't actually see the Leicester match because I was watching.
But my number one there was Aronson. I think he's going to be an exciting young buck for Leeds, 5.5. So yeah, that's Paddy's corner.
That's a good corner. No, I mean they're interesting thoughts. I mean, like they're obviously it's limited data. I think what you said at the start, going back to like you're looking at starting this whole cascade of transfer moves is like Diaz, and I'm going, well, that's perfect because you've made your transfer this week, and there's no one with. I would imagine no one with a brain is willing to get rid of Diaz before at home to Crystal Palace. Like that's a lovely fixture. It's perfect. Give him another spin out, and then an even easier fixture away to Man United. So I think Liverpool have a really nice run. That's a perfect little kind of wait and see. I mean, I wonder if people will flip too much between that like double back and Salah or the kind of the Diaz, basically the Diaz Robbo thing, which I guess is what everyone's kind of summed it down to. I've got the two Liverpool defenders at the moment, and I'm happy to just wait and see. But I'd have no issue, fucking coming off Robertson if I needed to get another premium.
Yeah. Exactly, and when I was thinking of that Diaz to Kulu transfer, to give me some Spurs coverage, that's going to work out probably when you just said there Liverpool are playing United. And on that fixture as well, Spurs are playing Nottingham Forest. So it'd be a nice time to make that switch, I feel, for my team.
Well, that's the thing with Spurs is like I think they've got Chelsea obviously away to Chelsea this week, and then their fun really begins. At home to Wolves. I mean, Wolves lost to Leeds this week. I wonder, are we going to see more of what we saw in spells last season?
Exactly.
Wolves at home, Nottingham Forest. Go on.
And Wolves are about to lose Connor Cody by the looks of things.
Well, Connor Cody wasn't starting for Wolves. That was why.
Yeah, but I mean, well, Connor Cody is their captain.
Nah, he done, buddy. He done. They got Nathan Collins this year. No, he's not. He was.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's.
He basically lost his place, I think, is what I've.
Yeah. Okay. So okay.
So that was an end of an era, and I'm sure there's no ill will between the fans. But I was a little surprised too. Like I said to Seamus when he
was such a servant.
Yeah, he showed me a draft pre-season with Kilman, and I went, well, what about Cody? And he was like, he's not been playing. And I thought it was just maybe a niggle.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Game over. End of an era.
Oh, there we go.
But no, he's gone to. I can't remember who he was linked with today. Or Everton. I think Everton was who he was.
Yeah, I think it was it.
Maybe West Ham I've seen thrown around. I don't know. I'm sure that will be sorted soon. I know it actually was, so I should fucking know. But whatever. So I mean that makes sense. Leeds, as I said, looking good. Spurs, after this kind of game week 2, like they looked great against Southampton. 4 goals.
Yeah.
The wing back thing is like what everyone was talking about prior to game week 1, and I don't think that's resolved yet. I mean, we saw Sessegnon got a goal and Emerson Royale got a goal, or got 2 assists. I think. Sorry, you got 2 assists, but they got attack and returns. Point was like what everyone knew was going to be the case. Wing backs are elite.
And that's right. Yeah. So like, I mean, that's there, but I mean, just to play devil's advocate with myself here, there's where do you see Richarlison whenever Richarlison has to come into this team? I mean, he's not going to come in and maybe take anyone's place. He's definitely going to be sharing minutes. He paid a lot of money for him. I can't see it being with Son or Kane, so it leaves it with Kulu. Yeah. So maybe
I think
that's another thing to think about.
I think he showed last year that he was willing to take Kulu off on the 20 minutes the 20 minutes left mark last year. I mean, Lucas Moura was kind of sharing minutes. So I'm not surprised if that's where it goes. I think Richarlison will take minutes off of probably across the front three at different stages. Whatever he needs. That's the beauty of it, is like whenever he needs, he can kind of go across all three. So I think he'll take minutes off all of them. But I mean, that's like that's gonna happen regardless. It just happens.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's fine.
There is 5 subs now as well.
But that's my big decision for next week, or not for next week, but kind of going forward. Is like this week my plan, and FPL Fairy actually completely nailed it last week on the show, and that's what I kind of mentioned about like help me make my decisions. Was like to maybe just have Kulusevski for Southampton, bit of coverage in case Kane or Son goes off. It's like, oh, okay, maybe he picks up because he's capable of it. He turns in a man of the match performance, and now I'm left with that like questioning, like, oh, maybe I don't triple up on Man City, like get a third City midfielder. I thought I could pick, and now I'm watching this situation with City midfielders, and I'm going like, that's risky. Kulusevski is he's in form, and Spurs have enter a lovely run of fixtures after game week 2. So do I just stick? Would you just stick, or I don't know?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Isn't that what they kind of say? Like, I mean, you do have time.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, City at home to Bournemouth, like they could destroy them, and I have a free shot at it. I think I can take a guess. Like, look at all those fucking predicted team lineups and take a swing at it. But I think then I might end up wanting.
There's a niche, like.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like we're talking about 8 million midfielders. A couple of them disappointing this week. Mount. He anyone that kind of put a bit of faith in him, he let people down. He was pretty weak looking during the Chelsea Everton match. Did you watch that match?
The Chelsea Everton match. I just caught some highlights of it.
Yeah, I watched it and
I thought. Yeah, go on ahead. What did you think of it?
I didn't I wasn't overly impressed by Chelsea. I thought.
Yeah. One thing I did think, just sorry to interrupt, there's like Sterling at 10 million, like he's never same old Sterling. I mean, I know. For me, Sterling, he's just something about him. Like I don't think he'll ever be on my team.
We'll see. He has a habit, because I mean, like,
but they have no striker. Havertz looked lost.
Well, Sterling's going to. I mean,
he's not a
striker essentially.
Yeah.
He's going in.
I mean, a lot of people have Mount. What did you think of Mount?
That's what I'm saying. That's what brought me to this part. Is like he didn't look impressive. Chelsea as a whole didn't do much. Like I saw a couple of people, fucking creaming themselves about Reece James after the match, and I know he got 7 points. But I mean, he went back into the centre back position once Loftus-Cheek came on, and like I didn't see. I watched Reece James matches not having him before, and I spent the time clenching my fucking ass. And this was not one of those games. I was like, no, I don't even think he was fucking on the corners. That kind of way. I was like, I mean, I think the fact that he picked up the 2 bonus points and probably would have got the 3 if not for that yellow, kind of shows how lethal he is. I also did miss the first 40 minutes, so like I don't know if they were just fucking killing it then, but I'm just worried he'd be playing a lot deeper.
Yeah, he's the same price as Koulibaly, isn't he?
He's 6 million. I don't know what price Koulibaly is, but I mean,
I think Koulibaly's 6.
I think if you want a bit of Chelsea defense, Mendy is a nice fucking option.
Yeah, Mendy's there. But I was just looking at Koulibaly, like as a centre back, he was floating some balls in there, and his passing was pretty slick for
Yeah. No, I think
centre back.
He could be
But James or Mendy are the go-tos, aren't they? Really?
Well, I mean, Chilwell put his kind of marker back on. He won the penalty, and once he gets his fitness back, but I feel like we're going to have a kind of similar situation where, they might lose minutes. I think James, neither of them are supposed to be fit, Chilwell or James. That's what Tuchel's come out and said. But I think he seems more secure in minutes. I mean, the fact that he took Chilwell off and didn't take James off, and the fact that James can also kind of play right centre back.
He can move him in there. Yeah,
so that saves his legs. Like at the end of last season when he was trying to rest him, the hamstrings, he was just moving them back to centre back. So I mean, I don't know. I wasn't massively impressed. Patterson, that 4 million Everton right back, he was interesting, but again, I don't know how long. Do you know how long Jamie Coleman's out for?
I don't, but
so I mean that's
probably. I would be lying if I said something, but I think anyway, Jamie Coleman's. It's that time. It's the transition. I think
there is that day is going to come soon. I don't know if it's not, but it could be. That is the question mark. And as kind of Irishman,
and Patterson has been impressing a lot of the Everton faithful, and of course probably Mr. Lampard himself. So
I mean, I thought he looked decent now in that first half. He seemed
yeah.
full of it. But yeah, so I mean, I suppose that's kind of no mad game plans. I don't think anyone can have anything much different. It shouldn't be that much different from after game week 1 started. But what about your captaincy?
Yeah, that's the next big talking point, isn't it? This is the
Is it?
it's nice to have it. It's nice to have it. It's key. It's Salah versus Holland for the captaincy, and you can beat around the bush and you can say, oh, it's Salah, Holland, De Bruyne or Son, but it's ultimately there's 2 captains this week.
Yeah.
There's probably more. I mean, but they're the 2, and at the minute, I put a little poll out, so I did.
Hey, careful now.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I put a big poll out,
Hey-o.
and it was a landslide victory.
What did you ask in the poll?
Just captaincy. I put up the 2 home fixtures: Liverpool home to Crystal Palace, Holland home to Bournemouth, and I just put up the 2 options. I think it got about maybe 400 votes, and I mean, yeah, it's all right. I mean, you can get a sample of that.
Decent sample.
And
Okay sample, yeah.
it's not a general sample of like 2,000 votes, but or 5. But I mean, it was 80%. I think the last time looking, 80% Holland and 20% Salah. So I mean, but it isn't going to. It hasn't decided it for me. And
of course
at the moment, my boss team has Salah captain. So I don't know. What are you thinking? Where would you?
Oh, it's on Holland.
Be with that?
There's hollandaise sauce
Holland all day long.
My face. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, he
Visual.
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, I don't even think I have my team ready for game week. I can just go. There we go. The Wanderers.
You haven't made any transfers or anything because you've had Holland. So are you? Sorry, I meant to ask you, or maybe you said this already. Maybe the Yana Ruddy beverage is going in my head. Have you made a transfer? Or
No. I think
we just discussed it there, kind of briefly.
Kulusevski out to a City mid is the only thing I'm considering. If it became,
you might as well bank it.
That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. Yeah, like I think that option's going to be there for a while. I think I probably want to see a bit more from City's mids in terms of like how much minutes is Alvarez going to take off of the likes of Foden and Grealish and Mahrez. You know, I mean, like there is fucking like it seems to me that there's the back line, which Cancelo, I think Walker seems pretty nailed on, while there's no other right backs, and then KDB and Holland. It's like fucking. I don't know if I trust any of the midfield slots. Not right now. I'm not. I don't have enough kind of who's his favorite. Like, is Foden going to come back in and make the same amount of starts as he did last year? Because I could take that. He was pretty frequent,
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You
don't have that problem to make though.
I'm taking it all in there. Yeah. But
look,
you might have convinced me just to go with Holland then as captain.
I think Holland is the. I mean, home to Bournemouth. I mean, look, you can make a case for either of them. If I'm being straight with you, I'd have no issue. But I think for me, like the fact that you even fucking transferred them in this week, I'm like, surely you can justify a captaincy armband on them.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I think it's one of those weeks where they'll both probably be highly owned.
Yeah.
And you have 2 of them. So, whatever. What's there going to be? A 13-point swing or something like that? Like, what's the worst?
Yeah, it's one of those 50-50s.
Yeah, exactly. But look, we can talk about it next week and we'll see what damage
see how it goes.
Yeah, we might as well start wrapping things up, Paddy. What do you think?
Yeah, we may as well. I'm just looking here. I don't have the laptop plugged in, and I'm looking. I've got 9% battery, so it kind of it went. It's worked well.
That has worked well. Yeah. You've taken a real risk.
I usually have the plug in as well. Like I usually do.
Yeah. You do. You also.
I do, but it's just
all right.
But there we have it. I think we covered a lot of things anyway that we needed to, Ger. I mean, like if I was a listener, I would be like retweeting this podcast out to everyone, and like I'd be saying it was one of the best podcasts I ever listened to in my life.
Yeah, do tell everyone from your granny to
Yeah.
whatever is the opposite of your granny. What's the opposite?
Your granddad?
I don't know. I think that's too close. It's just your never. I'm not getting into it now.
Okay.
Your battery's about to go dead. I was gonna go as far away from your grandmother as possible, but you went just gender. Yeah. I don't know. A fridge is a fridge the opposite of a grandmother. It's cold. I mean, I guess it depends on what you define a grandmother as. This is why I didn't want to get into this, Paddy. You've only 9% battery left, but you did hit a good point. If you like the show, subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter
Yes.
at FPL Hangover. If you want to send us an email, that's fplhangover@gmail.com. The lead code's on the screen. Once again, for the audio listeners, is PK3DFT. Paddy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at FPL_Viking, and you can find me on Instagram at the Viking Dippers. And you can find we're trying something on Instagram. It's called Last Orders on the Instagram. It's FPL Hangover. So
what is the username and last orders?
Last Orders FPL.
FPL. All right, so check out the Instagram and see more Paddy shenanigans and what's cracking with us. But yeah, cheers for listening. I hope game week 2 is everything that it could possibly be for you. And yeah, God bless.
All right. Good luck.